The most impressive thing about your self-proclaimed lack of knowledge within a field of specialists, a group of genius people, is that you are sat in the same exact room as them. Finding comfort in being the dumbest person in the room is the fastest road to success. And by comfort, I mean unapologetically verbalizing your ignorance. What did you mean when you said this? Can you explain how that works again? Why do we do things this way? You can't be afraid to learn in public. A lack of knowledge is only a weakness when other people have caught that before you have. You think it's embarrassing to ask what something is? Try acting like you do and getting the answer wrong. That creates something a million times worse and more dangerous, which is the realization that you cannot be trusted. And that is a direct reason to fire someone. So 2 things here. Assuming, therefore getting it wrong, should be a fear. And openly learning in a room of people that are able to teach you is your fast track to success. Not everybody realizes this, but also not everyone has the opportunity to be in such a room. So if you're ever in a position where you feel like you're the smallest person in the room, you take pride in that. You're in the discomfort of what is called growth. If you're ever looking for a sign that you're doing something right, this is it. Because to be surrounded by people the same level as you, where you can't help each other grow because you have the same life experiences, you have the same education, interests, hobbies, you can only ever grow horizontally, movement over time. But if you want growth and not movement, you need vertical direction. And for that, you might need to change some things in your environment, because if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. I can't stress to you enough the amount of jobs that hired me after I gave this one answer based on their question, what is one of your greatest strengths? I would always say it's my ability to ask questions. They loved it. The amount of nods and approvals I got from this one answer. And it's so understandable because no one wants to hire a fraud. No one wants to hire someone that sells themselves so highly and then underperforms. People want to hire transparent people, predictable people. No one invests in a closed book. And the least predictable people are those that ask the least amount of questions and therefore are forgotten about because we don't even know what they do or don't know. You don't know to trust them or not. And I'd much rather trust the person whose flaws I know than someone's expertise that I don't. If I were a manager, I would give the project to the person who asked the most amount of questions throughout the year because I know of the growth that they underwent. I know nothing about the other person. So as good as openly asking questions to those that you want to impress is, the person it is most important for and that benefits most out of it is you, because you are the one who receives the reward in the end. The added knowledge, the reference, the recommendation, the raise, the promotion, the client. The amount of questions that you ask is the amount of doors that you open for yourself. And the amount of doors that you open is the amount of freedom that you gain access to. When I realized this felt like one of the most aha moments in life where you felt like you uncovered the secret sauce. Craziest part is that because so many people have this fear, the few people that are fearless of asking questions openly are the ones that succeed so quickly. Success, money, high value connections, it has so much to do with being a people person. And the biggest thing about these people that have these incredible people skills are that they seek value in every interaction that they have, meaning they ask many questions so that they can learn as much as possible. Someone who constantly just talks about themselves is gaining zero new knowledge, just flattery. People with people skills, people who take value in any interaction, people who ask many, many questions. You think they're being polite or humble or just super, super social with you, but they're making moves. They're making moves while you're yapping. They're making every interaction that they experience and every opportunity that they have worth their time, no matter how incompatible they feel with them. While so many people avoid these high figures, these high value networks in their life because they find them so intimidating, these hustlers are shaking that person's hand and articulating the pronunciation of their name, no matter how incompatible they feel with that person. I say this because in order to overcome your fear on openly asking questions and therefore sharing a vulnerability in your knowledge or experiences, you first must overcome this distance that you feel you have with that person. Because notice, you don't have the same issues when it comes to close friends and family members. You ask them anything you want. You don't care what they think of you because you see yourselves as equal. You see yourselves as partners, as people that don't judge you because they know who you are. And that comes with becoming close with one. But you don't always have the opportunity to get to know someone on that level. So becoming fearful of distance is what causes this fear of openly asking questions. People naturally avoid people that feel distant in age, experience, culture, opinions. That leads you to making no impression at all, which I think is worse than feeling like you could have introduced yourself a bit better. You don't know when this opportunity will come again, but here it is now. And your lack of compatibility shouldn't stop you, because guess what? you can ask questions, which will lead to stronger connection. That's how it works. Even if you come out of a conversation feeling super vulnerable because you feel like you asked so many basic questions, the reciprocant will likely conclude, wow, no one's been this interested in me in a long time. And your confidence is what will make you most memorable, not your ignorance. Those that judge you for asking what might seem like basic questions, they do this for one of three reasons. One, unfortunately, they themselves were once judged in the past. We are majorly observational learners, especially as children growing up. So if anyone ever chuckles at you for asking a question or wanting to understand something a little bit better, just know that they think this reaction is appropriate because that is the reaction that they have received in the past. And their past is none of your business. So to whoever chuckled at you, you look them in the face, you make eye contact, and you turn back to the person you were speaking to and you ask the same question louder. You've quite literally massively just asserted your dominance here, which is the most attractive thing that anyone could do. Number two, for why others might judge you for asking a question out loud is because they want to show that they know, unlike you do. They're trying to look better, to contrast with you. They are in competition with you. Oh my God, just repeat that again. They are competing with you. They see you as competition. That is a compliment right there in itself. Number three, they're unsuccessful or they feel unsuccessful deep within. No confident, successful person is going to visibly react to your point in the journey because they have themselves been there once too. Those people have too much empathy for you for climbing the same ladder that they once climbed too. Notice how none of the three reasons of judgment are from the kinds of people that you want to be more like. Only look at the people that you want to be more like have to say, and even that with certain measure, of course. But anybody demeaning, toxic, verbally abusive, those are people that can never be role models anyway. And if those are the people mocking and disagreeing with you, you're doing everything right. So never be afraid to be an open book when it could massively benefit you. But perhaps the biggest judger in reality is you. Perhaps those three things that I listed are versions of you that you must undo. So whoever and whatever it is that drives this fear in your vulnerability of not knowing, wake up tomorrow with the free will that you have and decide, I'm no longer going to be a prey to this imaginary monster. And that change starts here with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see your better versions next time.